This is your thermostat. It comes to the off temperature. It sets it 80 degrees, which is not going to give you any hot water. You have to raise the temperature in order to get hot water. So as you can see, when this is here, the little arrow tells you where your temperature is. So you have to adjust the temperature to give you hot water. Okay? And that will you should hear a click when it turns on. Most of the time, you know, people are going to set it to around 100 in an apartment building. You're going to set it to around 130, 140 degrees. So now, that's just the basics. Obviously, you've installed your water heater, and you want to see what's going on. This is called a system sentinel. This is a specialty for marine. The lights tell you what's going on. So what we always tell the customer, the first light that doesn't turn on, that's where you start checking your problem for your water heater. If you don't have this power light on, which should be on all the time, you don't got power getting to the heater, you can stop right there until you get power to the heater. We can't do anything else. Next step is thermostat. Your thermostat is going to read temperature. If it does not have the temperature in the water heater that you want, it's going to set it's going to send power up to the damper assembly. This damper assembly, which goes on the top of the heater, okay? As you can see right now, the damper is closed because you have a flap right here that's closed. In order for the next step to happen, this damper, this little flap, has got to be perpendicular, straight up and down. I'm not going to do it now because I will damage the damper assembly. But you can push it with your hand, you can help it along and make it stand up. Okay, but this has got to be straight up and down for the unit to turn on. If it is not straight up and down, help it with your fingers. But you got to get it straight up and down. Once that happens, it's going to send power to the igniter. The igniter is going to cause a spark, which we're going to show you in a second how that spark looks. From there, once that igniter kicks on, it'll turn on the pilot, and then the ECO and the main valve will kick on one right after the other. Okay, so these, after the very first step, the rest of the steps should take no more than 10 seconds for all of them to turn on. That tells you that when that happens, all of that should be working. If one of these lights don't turn on, that first light that doesn't turn on, that's where a problem is. And that's where we're going to start repairing the heat. That's where we're going to start on the repairs. Now, as you can see, it's a much bigger burner assembly than that, but this is what your burner assembly looks like. This is your pilot, this is your igniter right here. This is what's going to cause the spark to turn all this on. Without this spark, none of this will turn on. Very important. We get a lot get called out and people say, oh, I need my heater fixed. If this heater is facing the wall and we can't get that burner out, we can't repair the heater. So when the heater is being installed, whether you're a plumber, a handyman, the apartment owner, whatever, make sure that your burner assembly, whether it be a Rheem, an A.O. Smith, I don't care what brand it is. Okay, obviously Rheem is what we recommend, Rheem or Richmond, which are the best there is on the market. But if you have any heater, you have got to give anybody that's going to work on it access to this burner assembly. If I can't get that burner assembly out like this, how am I going to repair this? It's not possible. So that is your basic setup. Now, I said I was going to show you what the igniter looks like. Behind that System Sentinel, you have a spark ignition control, which is kind of like the brain of the heater. That is what sends the signal. You've got the transformer. I was going to show you what the igniter does. This is what an igniter does. You've got the power coming in, you've got the little flap over, and this will cause the spark to get you the flame. There's the spark, as you can see right there. Okay, if you're not getting that spark, your igniter's no good. You need to replace the igniter. All right. Without that spark, nothing else works. You've got to get the spark working. All right. So if you're not getting that spark, if you don't see that little spark, and we'll show it to you one more time, you will not get the heater to turn on. Here, there is an on and off switch. Okay. There's an on and off switch right here. On, off. Okay, you can't really see it, but there's an on and off switch here. Turn off the power when you're working on the gas. Because if you don't, and you pull that burner out some, and you try and cause the spark, and all of a sudden you get that flame come up, it's going to burn. Hopefully not do a lot of damage, but chances are you're going to burn off all your eyebrows, your hair, anything you have. And even though I don't have hair, that didn't happen to me, but I've seen it. I've seen the flame come out, and it's not pretty. So be careful with what you're working on. My suggestion is, if you have a commercial water heater, better find somebody that knows what they're doing, a licensed professional to repair this. I'm just giving you the basics so that you know what you're looking for. So that whoever comes to work on it, you know if they know what they're doing. So these are your basics on how to repair a commercial water heater, what to look for in a commercial water heater.